Hi guys, welcome to So Janelle. I'm your host, Janelle So, welcoming you to another edition of this program that brings you stories of immigration and representation. Today is particularly special for me because the last time that I was with this personality that I'm going to be introducing to you today was back in 2011. I am talking about Filipina-American actress Ashley Argota Torres.
You know, people think it's just the most spectacular, like most glamorous thing, and please don't get me wrong, it is the most. I love being on set. It's so wonderful. It's so much fun. The people I get to meet, the things I get to learn from crew members and cast members, like just on all fronts have been so amazing, but it's a lot of unglamorous stuff that people just don't expect.
Ashley, thank you so much for joining us.
I am so excited.
Me too. There's this picture of us from March 2011.
Yep.
Yes, and that was the last time I saw you.
Very long time
right,
ago.
And you were 8 and I was probably 12.
Yeah, 100%.
How have you been since?
Oh, wow. I've been great.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky. I've continued to work and I got married and
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So do you remember what you were promoting when you were on my old show, Kababayan, on LA 18, which is an Asian language network, and you came on, I think it was for Nickelodeon something.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was probably for Bucket and Skinner's Epic Adventures, which is the second show that I did on Nickelodeon. I did True Jackson VP for 3 seasons, and then I went off and did Bucket and Skinner's Epic Adventure. So I think it was around that time.
And it was around that time when your life was changing too, because you were getting ready to move to a different state.
Yes, I was just about to go to NYU. I went for nursing. Then I ended up coming back after that first semester to keep working on promoting Bucket and Skinner, and we went to the KCAs and did a bunch of press stuff. So I ended up coming back pretty quickly, but it was, it was a crazy move. I love New York. I've loved it since I was a kid, and then I ended up going back for school, and it was awesome to live there.
Right, and then coming back to LA, of course, because you were born and raised here?
Yes.
Inland Empire, to 2 Filipino parents from Manila. We have a lot to talk about.
So much.
But before I backtrack, what are you busy with now? Because you're in a show as well with the CW.
Yes,
Tell
I'm
us about
on a show called All American on the CW. I played Gia. She is the PR person for Layla Keating's record company. And I did a Netflix show last year called Freeridge, and that's out on Netflix right now.
Yes.
And that was like super exciting to work on. I played the older sister to Sierra Riley Wilson, who is also a wonderful Filipina actress.
Right.
And I worked on a movie that's going to come out this year called, if they haven't changed the name of it, it's called Modeled for Love.
Okay.
But yeah, it was my first leading role I've ever done. I've never been number 1 on a call sheet, and my first time as number 1 on a call sheet was literally last October.
Congratulations.
So,
when are they going to release that? Or
I think it's going to be spring or summer of this year. That's what I've heard.
Okay,
so
we'll watch out for that, and we have to help you promote that.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
Yes, because I am very proud of you for someone who has been working
Since
since you were 5.
Yeah.
How did it start for you?
My mom put me into classes when I was 5 just because I would speak in really silly accents and stuff like that, and she just thought it would be something fun for me to do. So it was kind of a mix of singing classes and acting classes. I did a little bit of modeling here and there. It was mostly singing, and then I got The Lion King when I was 11 years old, and I got to tour with The Lion King.
Oh my God.
And that kind of brought me, it was singing and acting, it kind of really brought me back to acting, and then after I came home from that, I toured for about a year. That's when I kind of started acting for real, and I got a role on iCarly, a really small role on iCarly on Nickelodeon, and then the next year I had that audition for True Jackson, which was supposed to be my last audition, and I ended up booking it, and it changed my whole life.
Yeah, tell me about that, because it's this same mom, and we always joke about that on the show with Filipino Hollywood stars, okay? It's the parents, when their kids are young, they put you in front of, I do that to my child. Guilty.
It's okay.
And I say, Lily, sing.
Of course.
Or Lily, dance.
Oh my gosh.
And then you do it, right? It's the same mom that put you in class was the same mom that told you when you were about, what, 15?
I was 15, yeah.
15, dropping you off at an audition, saying, this is going to be your last audition.
It was interesting. I think up until then, it was kind of just the only thing that I knew when I was
What to do, how to do, right.
I started when I was 5. I was on set all the time. I was just working all the time. It was never a thing that I was like, oh, this is gonna go away. So when she said to me before that audition, like, this is gonna be it for you.
Why did she say that?
You know, there is a lot of rejection in show business, and I think she was just really tired of seeing me go through that. I came really close to a lot of roles in like TV shows and movies and stuff like that, and it was always like, I'm an inch too short, or like, my hair is too dark for this, or like just the littlest, most ridiculous
It's not even something that you can work on. It's the way you look, which you can't do anything about.
I mean, so much of the time in the business, it has nothing to do with your talent.
Exactly.
It's all of these other things. It could be political, it could be a vanity thing. It's so many other things.
Right.
And she was just really tired of seeing me hear the word no, and
Okay.
I had been doing it for 10 years.
Right.
So she was just like, you know what, this is gonna be it. And I threw a fit. I was in the car, I was crying in the car. I like pleaded with her. I was like, please don't do this. And it was really the first moment I think I realized, like, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. I
Right.
could not see myself doing anything else. There is nothing that I love as much as doing this. My casting director, Krisha Bullock, really saw something in me, and thank goodness she did, because she called me back. She pulled me aside after the workshop and she said, say a prayer and light a candle. You are part of the like very small group of people that they're gonna call back for testing.
I'm getting goosebumps.
I was like, no way!
Right.
And it was so crazy, because I was like, I still ask her, like, I'm still friends with her to this day, and I'm like, I don't know what you saw
Right.
that day when
Yeah.
I came in, because I was such a mess when I came in.
Right.
But thank goodness you saw whatever it was,
Right.
because it changed my whole life.
That shows a motherly love.
Yeah.
It's not because she doesn't want you to do it, or it's not because she was getting tired of driving you to
It was the
auditions.
rejection, yeah.
But she didn't want you to go through that rejection.
Yeah.
But it also says a lot about you, because you would rather get another rejection
Yeah.
than to stop it altogether.
Yeah.
At what point were you able to process the rejection?
The first time I really processed it was like an audition, probably just a couple before the True Jackson audition, because I had come really close to a Disney Channel original movie. I don't remember which one it was, because
Right.
I was auditioning for a million of them at that point. I was just that age. I just remember coming really close to it, and I really thought it was gonna be me, and they went a different direction. And I think that was the first time in my life that I ever really sad about not getting something, but
Right.
it was okay to me, because I was
Right.
like, well, this is just a part of what this is. Like,
Right.
you're gonna get some jobs, and some jobs are just not gonna be meant for you, and that's okay.
Right.
I think the True Jackson audition was probably a month or so after I had gone through that rejection. So I think my parents seeing me finally process that rejection, and then seeing another big audition come through, and my acting coach was like, this is gonna be the one for you,
Right.
and everybody was really pulling for me on this one. I think they were like, you know what?
Yeah.
If it doesn't go your way, we don't want to deal with
Right.
this kind of rejection anymore.
Right.
So, but you know what? It all ended up working out in the end.
Isn't that what they say? When you're close, just a little bit more, a lot of people quit just when they're about to get it.
It was just so beyond my wildest dreams. Like,
Right.
it's, of course, as a kid, it's something that you dream about, to be on Disney or Nickelodeon. And, you know, the dream comes true. And then you're
Right.
like, wait, this is really mine. This is for me. It's so funny. So many people are like, wow, you were my childhood growing up. And I'm
Right.
like, thank you.
Oh.
True Jackson was my childhood. Like, that
Yeah.
was my high school experience. It was I learned so much during that show. I'm so grateful for my time on that show.
So how did you break the news to your parents, who told you that was the last?
My mom was with me, I think, when I found
you got the
out.
call.
I'm pretty
Right.
sure, yeah. And then I want to say, I think my aunt was with me at that point as well. Like, I think she was in the house when I found out, so they knew immediately. And then my dad was working, and I gave him a call, and they were just so excited. It was
Right.
almost like that moment of them saying, you're going to stop doing this, never happened.
Yes.
Because what we all wanted ended up coming true.
What was it like? Because now we talk about representation, we talk about inclusivity, but during that time, it wasn't really talked about.
No.
Were you aware at that time that there was a lack of these roles?
I really did not understand the weight of being a Filipino actress, like a Filipino child actress on television.
In Hollywood. Yes.
Until I got older, to be honest. Like, people would come up to me all the time and say, oh my gosh, it's so great to see somebody who looks like me on TV. And I was so grateful for the comments, but I was also so confused. I was like, oh, I guess I never thought of it that way.
Right.
It really wasn't until just a few years ago that I was going out for just all the same roles all the time. And I think when I was a kid, when I would go out for the best friend role or the quirky one or
Right.
like the secondary character,
Right.
it was one of those things that was, you know, it was so normal to me growing
Right.
up because that's all I went out for.
Supporting.
It was always a supporting role. And it was normal. So I
Right.
didn't think, oh, I'm not getting into other rooms because this is what I look like.
Right.
This is just what my career is.
Right.
And then I got older and I went, well, I don't feel like the quirky best friend
Right.
in my real life.
Right.
Like I am the leading lady.
You're
of
the
my
lead.
Own, yeah,
Exactly.
like, I feel like the leading lady
Duh.
of my own life.
Right,
And
yeah.
I would go out for all these roles where I had to be quirky or I had
Right.
to, you know, there was
Right.
always like something about her.
Right.
I was like, I just don't understand why I can't get any auditions for any leading
yeah,
roles.
yeah.
And then I think just one day it just dawned on me that I was like, oh my gosh, it's because I'm not white. I don't look American
Right.
in the traditional sense.
Right.
And it made me angry.
What did you think of Hollywood before? Perceptions or misconceptions of Hollywood before that's changed?
Oh,